Hi guys, the Metal Maniac back again, and welcome to another music collection update. I have a lot of stuff to show you guys, so let's just get into it. So, first up is the album Metal Heart by Accept. This is actually an original US edition. I actually stopped in at my local record store today, and this is on the shelf, and it was only like $16. And the vinyl looks in very good condition. It's not scratched or anything, although it is quite like dusty. So I'm gonna have to just wipe all the dust off before playing it. As for the case itself, it has some dent marks on the bottom and some ring wear, but nothing too major. Oh, hold on, some stuff fell on my shelf. All right, there we go. Anyway, and I actually had to tape up the inner sleeve because there was seam splits on every single side. I don't know if the camera's showing it, but there was a seam split here, a seam split here, and a seam split here on the bottom. So I had to like put tape over every single one. In the future, I might get a re-release just so I could replace the sleeve with the one that's not all ripped up with seam splits. Yeah, like I said, the vinyl does not have any scratching or wear on it whatsoever. It's just very dusty. And the case itself is in pretty decent shape, just slightly banged up on some spots. But yeah, I really love this album, and I was gonna get the re-release, but you know, I saw this and it was for $16, so I was like, yeah, I'll get an original copy for that price. But I don't know what the usual price for a mint condition original is, but you know, I'm happy with this one. Anyway. Next up is the self-titled album by the band Angel Witch. This is their self-titled debut album. Now, when it comes to the new wave of British heavy metal, I'd say Angel Witch is probably one of my least favorites, mainly because even though most of their early stuff is really good, everything from the middle part of their discography onwards is just really forgettable. But in their early days, like their first few releases, their first album, a couple of singles, as well as their demos and the EPs, like their very early stuff, I love most of that. But yeah, I finally got their full-length album. This is a recent re-release, I believe. Yeah, this is a re-release. It was re-released this year. I actually wasn't aware of this re-release. I just randomly stumbled across it. This is another thing I got from the record store today. It has the original record label, like the actual record logo from the original record company that released the original version. As you can see here in the display photo, it's also a colored vinyl, orange coloring, and yeah, it has the original Bronze Records record label in the middle there. Surprisingly, an original copy, even in mint condition, of this album, an original 1980 copy, does not actually go for that much. I think I saw like one on like Discogs maybe about a year ago in mint condition on vinyl, the original 1980 version, for about, I'd say, almost $100. Yeah, I don't think that even the original actually goes for that much money. Surprisingly, considering this is a really important band to the new wave of British heavy metal movement. Now I won't take the vinyl out to show you the color vinyl because I haven't even listened to this yet. I haven't opened it. Once I do my review of it, I will show the vinyl. Yeah, I haven't even opened it yet. Anyway. Alright. next up is one. This thing I've been looking for a long time, but it was surprisingly hard to find a good condition copy of this with this particular version. And that's the self-titled single by the band Angel Witch. This is their second single, which, of course, on side A has their self-titled song, and side B has the song Gorgon. And this is not a re-release. This is an original. But yeah, it was so hard to try to track this thing down. Especially one that's in good condition. Mainly because one, this single, along with most of the early singles, were never re-released, and secondly, this specific version, with the artwork on it, was only released in the UK. I don't know if it was I don't know if there's alternate artwork, but I do know that most places when this originally was released, outside of the UK, got a standard sort of like blank case. It did not have the artwork. So it was really hard to find a good condition version of this, and on top of that, a good condition version of this with the artwork. That was the UK exclusive. Unfortunately, the bottom had a seam split, so I had to tape it. Yeah, this comes in a case that's very flimsy. Like, it's not just because it's old, but like the type of paper that's used for this case is just very, very, very thin. So I have to be very careful with it. Yeah, really happy that I finally have this. Now I usually don't. Now, I wouldn't have gotten this single if it wasn't for the fact that actually this is an alternate version of the self-titled song. The version on the album is the full version, but for whatever reason, the version on here is actually shortened. The beginning of the song is actually cut short. Like it's there's a part cut out of it. For whatever reason, but yeah, it is a different version of the song, and I always like having multiple versions of different songs, just so I could hear the differences, and it's just very fun to hear all the different versions. Yeah. All right. Next up is not an album, but it is music related, and it's actually something that I got for my birthday. And that's this Slayer book. It's called Slayer: The Jeff and Dave Years. Now this is very odd because you would think this would be the cover, but no, this photo is actually the cover. Yeah, I haven't read this yet. I'm still working on finishing the Mayhem book that I bought recently. I haven't finished that yet, but oh, hold on, I'll be right back. Alright. Anyway. But yeah, this, I've never heard of this book before. I don't know if it's new or what, but, yeah, I'm very excited to, read it. The, back says, Slayer, the Jeff and Dave Years, a metal band biography, including, Slatanic profiles, a new history of the Thrash King's early days, Rain and Blood tours, a European invasion, the Palladium riot, the Seat Cushion chaos, concert, the whole. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, I'm taking up too much time in the video just reading the entire back, but it's basically some already known information about the band, as well as some new stuff and some new photos as well. Now none of this is in color; it's all in black and white. So some of these are pretty, especially the early ones. They're a bit. Oh no, they're not low resolution or anything. I thought they were going to be because they're old, but anyway. Hold on, give me a second. I'm trying to find a good picture to show you guys. No. I think this is from the Show No Mercy era. Or Haunting the Chapel. But here's some a preview of some of the stuff in the book. But yeah, just a very cool book. I can't wait to read it. I think you could get this on Amazon, actually. Alright, next up, again, not an album, but definitely music related, of course. And I've got a new poster. It's a cloth poster, or it said it was a banner, but this is the poster of De Mysteriis Dom Satanis, of course, the legendary Mayhem album. Now, I don't know how I'm going to put this on my wall. It's a cloth poster. Also, it's very thin for some reason. Like, you can see right through it, but if you put it, I put it on, like, next to my, like, on my wall, like, just held it up, and it works fine, but if you put it, you know, right on a light source, it's pretty much not transparent, but it's kind of see-through, so it's kind of hard to see unless you, like, put it right against the wall, which, you know, is the intended purpose, so I guess it's fine. But the thing that confuses me about how to actually hang this up on my wall is these little hoop things. I don't know if you're supposed to, like, pin it to the wall or something, but the way I have my posters put up on my wall is that they have, like, it's not sticky tack, but it's like little sticky strip things, like they're like strips of, like, little strips that you could, like, stick on the wall, and then you have the other half that's also, the other side that's also has some sticky stuff on it that you could, you know, put the poster on, and then that's how I hang my posters up. But I don't know what I'm going to do with this one. Yeah, I mean, I think in the future I might just get, you know, either a cloth version that doesn't have these, or just the standard paper version. But right now, this is actually pretty good. Yeah, I just saw this. This is only like 20-something bucks, and I just like, oh, this is cool. I'm gonna buy this. But yeah, they also had there was a Cannibal Corpse one that was the artwork for Eaten Back to Life, which I really wanted, but I didn't want to spend all my money on just posters. They had a Morbid Angel Altar of Madness one, which, again, wanted that one, but, again, didn't want to spend all my money on posters. There was a Deicide Legion one, I believe. Or was it? No, it was the artwork of the first Deicide album, the self-titled. Oh, crap. I do not remember how to fold this back up. You know what? I'm just gonna put it over back to the side. I'll figure it out later. Anyway. Let's see. Next up, another music-related thing, is this t-shirt. Yeah, this is another thing I got for my birthday. It's this awesome, Marvel Iron Maiden, crossover, unofficial, but, like, it's really cool. It's the Fear of the Dark artwork, but instead of Eddie being there, it's actually Venom. You got Marvel, Iron Maiden, Fear of the Dark, and then you got Venom over here with the Fear of the Dark title right there. But yeah, it's just a really cool, sort of funny, sort of like unofficial crossover type artwork. I love it. Next up is the horror movie Mausoleum. Now I've never seen this. I have seen the trailer though, and the trailer looks really good. This movie came out in 1982, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 1982. Don't really know much about it, but the trailer looks really good. Now, the original way I discovered this movie pretty much was, I think if I remember correctly, I was looking up something else. Like, I was looking up, like, 80s horror movie posters. And then this was just the thing. One of the things that was on Google Image was this movie poster. And it looked really, really cool, so I was like, okay, I'm going to type in this and see if there's a trailer on YouTube. And there was, and the trailer looked awesome. And yeah, can't wait to actually watch the movie. Also, this has DVD and Blu-ray combo. The DVD has the original artwork. The Blu-ray has the remake art, or not remake artwork, but like artwork done for this specific Blu-ray release. Also, this Blu-ray release does have the newer artwork. This paper inside is a two-sided print. Actually, it originally came with the other side that had the this artwork, but I flipped it to the original artwork because even though the newer artwork is also really good, I do prefer the original artwork. It's just a lot more striking and a lot more. It just feels a lot more like the artwork from an old '80s horror movie, an old '80s B horror movie, because it is that, you know. The other artwork really good, but a bit too sort of like a bit too newish looking, I guess you could say. Whereas this one, you could clearly tell it's, you know, the classic horror movie art from the '80s. But yeah, can't wait to watch it. Alright, next up is another thing I got for my birthday. This was one of my favorite movies growing up, and I lost the original DVD, but I got this for my birthday, and I finally own it again. And that's the very underrated superhero movie Sky High. Yeah, I had the original DVD, and I guess I lost it at one point, and for years and years I just never thought of rebuying it, but now I don't have to because I have it again. Very super underrated movie. Also, it has one of the main characters is played by Kurt Russell. Yeah, if you haven't seen this and you're interested, definitely check it out. Now, keep in mind it's a very corny, cheesy movie, but you know, if you don't mind that kind of thing, it's just very fun to watch. And then the last thing here is another thing I got for my birthday. Now, growing up, I was a fan of this a book series called Manicula, the Vampire Rabbit. It's basically, you know, kids horror, I guess, where it's like family-friendly horror. It's like about this like a family, and they get this rabbit that was like left at like a movie theater, and it turns out the rabbit is actually a vampire. But anyway, so around 2019, I believe they actually made an animated TV show adaptation of the books, and that's this thing. Now, I didn't grow up with this. I grew up with the books, and I grew up with the animated movie from the 80s. This one right here. This came out in 1983. It was originally a TV movie, and it was only TV movie for a while before it got finally released on VHS tape, I think in 86, I think. But yeah, I grew up renting this from my local library back in the day a lot. Finally, about a year ago, I tracked a VHS copy of this down in mint condition, never watched. And then I had seen a couple episodes of this when it originally aired, the TV show, but I haven't in a while. And I just recently, yesterday, I actually watched the entire thing. It's all 40 episodes of season 1. Also, only season 1 is out on DVD so far. There's 3 seasons, but season 1 is the only one available at the moment. Yeah. Although this is not very accurate to the books. This one, even though it only focuses on the story of the first book, even though it's not too accurate, it definitely does have a lot more accuracies than the show. But I love both, and I'm definitely gonna get the other 2 seasons when they're released. Yeah. So that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.